Get to scuffing.
Scuff.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wanderful Revolution. I am Jed.
I'm Sandy. He's crazy. But anyway, good morning.
It's really the afternoon.
It really is. We didn't get a very early start. Actually, we've been struggling to work on the van the last couple days. We needed just a little bit of a break, and earlier in the week we went to the mountains to see some fall color, which we also really needed. So I think we're revived and ready to go again now.
Except for it has been near freezing here in North Carolina.
That's part of why we didn't want to go outside.
Yeah, so we've gone from like super hot to like super cold, but today's just right.
Yeah, about 70 degrees, perfect weather. So today we're going to tackle something that we've had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what we wanted to do with, and there's not a whole lot of information out there from what we're able to see. And we're talking about our sliding door and how we're going to try to finish the inside. And the reason we're worried about that today is because we want to work on putting our kitchen cabinet in here, but it's going to end up blocking the door, so we have to do the door first.
Yeah, so we have built most of the kitchen cabinet frame. It's going good so far, but this is one of those things like during a van build, you kind of have to hit the pause button because you're like, oh, we're not going to be able to get to that once we put in the kitchen cabinet, so now we have to worry about the door. The door, we're still kind of unsure what to do with it.
Yeah, so we really don't want to put a window in this door. We only wanted to put a window on that side. We figure it's going to be open a lot anyway.
And you'll just be looking in on us constantly.
Yeah, then you can look in on both sides.
Don't be creepy.
I mean, that's weird.
Yeah, you can look at us from one side, but not both.
Yeah, so we don't really want to put in, so we have to figure out a way to cover this inside of here. So we think we have a plan. It's probably not going to go the way we want because that's how we do things around here.
We'll see how it turns out.
Let's see how it goes.
Little sneak peek of the kitchen cabinet, refrigerator. Make sure you watch out for that video. It's coming soon. And it's going to have more of my hand in it.
Okay, so our sliding door came with this panel on the bottom portion here, which we've removed just so we can kind of see what's back there. We are going to insulate it with some wool, being mindful of our mechanism there because we don't want it to get jammed with wool in it, so we'll figure out some way to block it off so we can protect it. But we didn't have any panels up at the top or here in the middle. We've heard some people out there are lucky and their vans came with those panels and they've just been able to kind of use those or kind of use it as a template even. But ours does not have that, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take this piece on the bottom. We have decided to reuse it because you're not going to see a lot of it anyway because our kitchen cabinet is going to come out to about here. And then you're only going to see that portion on the bottom when the door's closed. So we're going to just reuse this. But what we do want to do is we are going to paint it the same color that we are going to be painting our lower kitchen cabinets. So let's do that. So we're just going to quickly sand this down a little bit. Sometimes paint doesn't stick really great to like plastic if it's too smooth or so we just decided we're just running over it really quickly with a 220 grit sandpaper. Just to roughen up the surface a little bit. We'll kind of wipe it down and then fingers crossed our paint will stick to this. Alright, so this is the paint we're using. It's a color called Blueprint. As you can tell, it is very reminiscent of the color of our van, maybe just a little bit brighter. But this is what we're going to use to cover this first panel and what we're going to use to paint our lower cabinets. So yeah, I think it looks really nice so far. So excited. Okay, so now that we got the bottom piece in, we are going to attempt to make a template for the top piece out of, we're using poster board. We're just sticking 4 pieces of it together because 4 pieces happen to be about the size that we need to cover that area. So we're just taping those together, and then we're going to go hang it in there and see if we can come up with something.
Now we have the template that Sandy made up on taped up on the door. It's not a template just yet. I don't know. I guess it's just a bunch of poster board taped together in the dimensions that we're going to need to make the template. Did I just over-explain that? So we got our poster board up, and we're ready now to make our template. So we've made our template. Sandy has taped it all down nice for us. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this bad boy out.
Okay, so we are about ready to install this thing. As you can see, we put a couple little things here on the back. What these are is this piece right here is where the door handle or the sliding door handle is. This is just so when your hand goes behind it, it just puts like that little protection there, because it is going to be filled with wool and we don't want the wool kind of falling out the side, and it just kind of makes it a little more seamless. Same thing with this little guy. This actually is the lock. In the sliding door. This is so we can stick our fingers in. You'll see when we flip it around. But to unlock that door, we found that if the door is locked, you can't open the sliding door from the inside without unlocking it with the key fob. So just for safety's sake, if something happened and we needed to get out quickly, we wanted to make sure we had a way to open that up.
Ta-da! We finally have this up. We decided in the end to go with screws. We were contemplating gluing it in, but don't think that we would have had a good time with that. So we decided to pre-drill our holes, screw it in, and it's holding up fairly well. The next little bit of love that we're going to show our sliding door is we're going to actually put in and I quote, fantastic, amazing, fancy new doorstop. It's basically going to have it actually says so here right in the directions, so kudos to those guys. So it's basically a little strip of metal that's going to attach to our sliding door track that's going to make it stop where we want it to. So it's basically we're adding an additional stop instead of having to move it all the way to the end, if that makes sense.
So we got this kit on Amazon. We'll put a link below if you're interested in doing something like this with your van. But it basically has everything that we need. It comes with the little piece of metal that goes in there, some JB Weld to kind of hold it in place, and the cleaning stuff. The only thing we had to supply was a piece of cardboard to mix our JB Weld on and a Sharpie.
So here comes the buddy portion where I stand here and I hold the door. While
Well, I mark where it goes. But this is about where we want ours. It's about halfway. With the door open, it'll kind of cover where the kitchen cabinet's going to come. Still plenty of room for us to get in and out if we have it stopped there. So this is the little roller that our little stop will sit in, and we have to kind of mark here to make sure that we're lining up. We'll show you the marks after we're done here because you're not going to be able to see it while we're doing it. And I need to make Jed go back and hold that door now. So this is the little stop that we're going to JB Weld in there. It's really, really thin and tiny little guy. You probably really won't even notice it in there when we're done. But the next thing they have you do is they give you a little piece of Scotch-Brite, and we just need to scuff up the back side of this and the location where we are going to put it on there. So.
Get to scuffing.
Scuff. So we got everything scuffed up now, so we just have a little alcohol wipe that we are going to wipe off the residue off the bottom of the little piecey here, and then we're going to do the same thing where we scuffed up in here. Careful not to wipe away your black line where you don't know where it goes, because I almost just did that. Alright, easy breezy. So if you haven't used JB Weld before, it's a two-part. It's a hardener and a steel thing. You just use equal amounts of each and then kind of mix it together till it's a nice, equally blended gray color. So they say this takes 4 to 6 hours to set and then 15 to 24 hours to completely cure. Alright, so we're just going to put the JB Weld on the back side of our, I don't know, what is this thing called?
Doorstop?
Doorstop. I don't know. Like, my brain's not working today, y'all. I need more caffeine. So we're just applying a thin layer on the back of the doorstop itself. Do not apply it to the the track on the actual van. I'm putting a very thin layer. They say to use a super, super thin layer so that you don't make a mess in the track. So we're just trying to put just enough on here. And then it says to take your popsicle stick and actually kind of remove most of it, just leaving enough to bond it. Alright, and then we just sit this little guy in here like that, trying to keep it straight in line with the other little where we kind of mark the center of the roller. That looks straight?
Yeah.
I'm short, I can't see up top.
I mean, it looks straight to me.
There we go. Looks straight? Still? Didn't change?
No.
Alright, so it's in there. We just kind of pressed it down into place. Now they just say to kind of clean up around it. The Sharpie marker and everything comes off with just a little alcohol wipe. And so now we leave it sit there for 24 hours before we use our door or the stop, so that we make sure that it dries completely and we don't knock it off of there. So we'll see you in 24 hours.
It has been 24 hours since our installation of our little door doohickey.
That's the official name. Door
That is the official name. Ta-da!
Stops in the middle. Hi guys.
So it's just a little stop. But, I mean, it's nice because you can do the door halfway and you don't have to worry about it crunching you. This door is actually fairly heavy, so it's nice to have it in a position that you want to stay.
Stuff and things. And coffee. Alright guys, so we're really happy with the way that the sliding door turned out. I think it was a relatively simple fix. It didn't take, you know, too long
Yeah, and
to make the template and stuff.
yeah, so we're still unsure what we're going to do with the panel, but I mean, we're going to decorate it with something.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah, we even thought about making a sticker wall with places we've been, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned to see what happens to the wall. No? Subscribe, like, something.
I mean, yeah, do all that. I mean. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us showing our little sliding door some love. I don't think, you know, all over YouTube, I haven't seen anybody's, you know, solution to the door. And because anytime you see a van or like a van tour, you're coming in this way. And our buddy, the sliding door.
And then the door is back here, so you don't see what a lot of times that people have done, so.
But we hope, so this is what we're doing.
So we did.
So we did.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video.
And until next time, stay wonderful.
Call it a day.